Friends, Cypriotes και Cypriotises, before we start these proceedings today, we must this year, with a heavy heart, pay our respects and observe 1 minute's silence in memory of the victims of the terrible tragedy that hit Cyprus in the early hours of last Monday morning, the deadly explosion at the naval base at Marie. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims and with the many injured. May the injured recover fully, and may the dead rest in peace. Θα τους θυμόμαστε πάντα. Honorary members of Parliament and the European Parliament, Your Worship Mayor of Barnet, former members of Parliament, councillors, distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, fellow Cypriots of the United Kingdom, Cypriotes and Cypriotises. We are here once again, as we have been every year for the best part of 4 decades, to remember and to pay tribute to all those heroes who gave their lives defending and fighting for a democratic, free and independent Cyprus. The brave men who struggled against the treasonous coup and Turkey's criminal and disastrous invasion. Those who sacrificed their lives so that Cyprus could be whole and free. Our pledge today is that they have not died in vain. We are here united in our purpose, convinced of the justice of our cause, to condemn 37 years of Turkey's military occupation of the northern territory of Cyprus, to condemn the illegal colonization of the occupied areas by Turkey as part of a deliberate policy to change the island's demography. We are here to condemn the appropriation and exploitation of Cypriot properties by the unlawful regime in the north, to castigate the deliberate desecration and destruction of national, cultural and religious sites in the occupied area, to condemn Turkey's stubborn and inhuman refusal to investigate the fate of hundreds of Cypriots, men, women and children, who disappeared without trace during Turkey's military invasion of the island. Many of these people were captured alive. We know that they were captured alive, never to be seen again. Turkey must respond on this profoundly humanitarian issue. Turkey must allow the Turkish army's archives to be scrutinized so that the fate of the missing can at long last be established, so that the relatives of the missing can at long last find out what happened to their loved ones. We demand justice for the missing. My friends, we are here to condemn Turkey's persistent and arrogant disregard of numerous United Nations resolutions and the decisions of international courts in relation to Cyprus. How long can this country go on behaving in this way with complete impunity? We are here once again, as we have been every year for the last 37 years, because we owe it to Cyprus. We owe it to Cyprus, the land of our ancestors, because we shall never give up on Cyprus. We are here to demand that Turkey works sincerely for the reunification of Cyprus, to demand that Turkey fulfills its obligations to the European Union, obligations which it itself assumed by its own signature, but which it has repeatedly refused to honor. It is no good championing Turkey's membership of the European Union for as long as it refuses to abide by the rules of that union. Turkey's absolute intransigence and its callous disregard of human rights raises serious questions about the United Kingdom's own role and responsibilities in this continuing tragedy. As British citizens, therefore, we are here to remind the British Prime Minister and his government of the United Kingdom's own obligations under its Treaty of Guarantee with Cyprus as a guarantor of the island's independence and territorial integrity. To demand that the United Kingdom uses its leverage and its influence with the United States of America and through the United Nations, the European Union and NATO to press Turkey to work for a fair and lasting settlement on the island. Cyprus is a member state of the United Nations, the European Union, the Council of Europe and the Commonwealth. It is also a partner of the United Kingdom in all of these organizations, and it is a country on which Britain maintains sovereign military bases. These facts alone, beyond the United Kingdom's treaty obligations, make it imperative that Cyprus becomes a top priority of the British government, and that the United Kingdom assumes and discharges its vital responsibilities to the island. As our good friend, Member of Parliament Mike Freer, incisively observed in the debate on the missing, which he initiated in the House this week, and for which we thank and congratulate him, the UK intervenes and applies pressure throughout the world. It must do more on its own European doorstep. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this community, our community in the United Kingdom, is a dignified, proud, peaceful, responsible, well-integrated, respected and respectable community. But I must tell you in all honesty and in all sincerity that it has had enough of successive British governments paying lip service to delivering justice in Cyprus, but failing to do anything of substance to press Turkey to change its course. We call upon David Cameron to use his influence as Prime Minister to prevent the Cyprus problem from being forever relegated to the sidelines, from being forever downgraded by the establishment of the British Foreign Office. My friends, we're here to ask for nothing less than full respect for the human rights of all Cypriots throughout the island, Greek Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots, Maronites, Armenians and Latins. We are here to demand that Turkey leaves the island to the Cypriots, a free, united, independent Cyprus for all Cypriots. Zito η Κύπρος! Ζήτω η αγαπημένη μας Κύπρος! Ζήτω μια ανεξάρτητη και ελεύθερη Κύπρος! Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Θα καλέσω τώρα στο βήμα τους προσκεκλημένους μας. I would like to invite our guest speakers to address the gathering. I would like to acknowledge, before I do so, the presence of Teresa Villiers, Member of Parliament for Chipping Barnet, now a Minister in the Government. Teresa will not speak today, but she's here to show her support. She's a valued Member of Parliament, somebody who has been on our side for many years. We welcome her presence. We look forward to working with her, especially now that she's a Minister in the Government. Welcome, Teresa. I would like to invite Charles Tannock, Member of the European Parliament, also another staunch friend of Cyprus, who has been here with us at these events almost every year. I welcome Charles.
Thank you very much, Peter, and friends, British Cypriots. It gives me great pleasure to be here. I've been your member of the European Parliament now for 12 years, and although Teresa might not be speaking, Teresa and I have always supported you, and I have been here now every year bar one for the last 12 years. And you now have another MEP who sadly can't be here today, Marina Yannikidakis, who's also a very, very staunch friend of the Cypriot community. She's one of you in many ways. She's a wonderful friend of Cyprus. And between us, we keep the torch flying, which Teresa left behind when she became a member of the National United Kingdom Parliament. It's been 37 long years, but there are still 45,000 Turkish troops occupying your beautiful island state. It's a tragedy. It's been almost 4 years that there have been UN brokered mediated talks by Alexander Downer to try and resolve this. We do now hope that the meeting that took place in Geneva only a few weeks ago with Ban Ki-moon will actually accelerate this process. I have to say, I'm not over-optimistic. I do believe that both parties, both President Christofias and the leader of the Turkish community, Derviş Eroglu, do mean well, but I just cannot see how we're going to achieve this objective, given the fact that the talks, as Downer put it, are going at a snail's pace. They are literally almost grinding to a halt. But let's hope that something positive will emerge. Cyprus needs a boost in morale, particularly after the tragedy which occurred just over a week ago in your naval base. I sincerely hope that this time next year we will come back with a united Cyprus. And don't forget that in 2012, Cyprus will hold the rotating EU presidency. This time next year, Cyprus will be the president in office of the European Union. What a wonderful gift it would be, the first time it holds the presidency of a reunited island state. What we want is a bizonal, bicommunal federation, not the confederal solution which the Turks would love of something like 2 states, which is totally unacceptable for all of you and for us politicians who are friends of Cyprus. Let me give you one other piece of good news, talking about the issue of the missing persons. Marina Yannikidakis and I, 3 weeks ago, managed to get more than 400 signatures of MEPs, which is a clear majority of the entire House, on the issue of the missing people of Cyprus. We're proud of that achievement. It raises the profile of the issue. Most MEPs didn't even know about it. It was shameful. We had to explain what it was all about. Let's hope that put more pressure on all sides, and particularly the Turkish authorities and the army, to reveal the whereabouts of all of those who are missing, particularly those who were taken back to mainland, taken back to Turkey itself, and never seen or heard of again. This is a disgrace. Turkey, as a candidate for the European Union, really must come clean about its past, about the invasion of the island in 1974. So let's hope that will bring closure finally for all the families who've lost their loved ones during that invasion period. But let me simply say, I remain a staunch friend of Cyprus. I do hope that this annual event will be the last one. I say that every year, but this time there is a small chance there could be a breakthrough over the summer months. It's so important. This is a narrow window of opportunity. There is no plan B. There's a real danger the international community will walk away after this. We must get a breakthrough. We must have a reunited Cyprus. Turkish troops out of Cyprus. Eleftheria στην Κύπρο.
Thank you very much, Charles Tannock. I would now like to invite Jim Sheridan, Member of Parliament from Scotland. He's down here all the way from Scotland. He's another great friend of Cyprus. Jim Sheridan.
Thank you, Peter, for that very kind introduction, but I have to be honest, I was coming down to my work anyway. But can I say that I'm bringing best wishes from a dry and sunny Scotland, and I know that many of my countryfolk visit your beautiful island every year. But unfortunately, many of them do not understand that the island is illegally occupied by the Turks. And I see that as a responsibility of me to educate the people of Scotland and let them know that Cyprus is occupied and the Turks should leave and leave immediately. Your President has met every challenge asked of him. He's entered into negotiation with the Turkish authorities with integrity, with genuine desire to get a settlement, but unfortunately the Turkish authorities have not reciprocated. I see our government as a responsible government, non-partisan, of all persuasions, to make sure that Turkey understands that Cyprus must be free, must be independent, and that's the important message that we have to get across to our government. And as Peter has said, no longer can the Cyprus problem be put on the back burner simply because of something else perceived to be more important. And I'm also delighted today to see so many young people here. There are some of our opponents who say the Cyprus problem is aged, is old, and people want to move on. I don't see that happening today. I see so many young, vibrant people here today who will keep the cause of Cyprus going. And from a parliamentary perspective and from the Friends of Cyprus perspective, parliamentarians will not be bullied, we will not be harassed, we will not be threatened, neither will we be undermined from those who seek to divide Cyprus into Greek Cypriots or Turkish Cypriots. This is about Greek Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots, any Cypriots. We want a free, independent Cyprus, the sooner the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate those words. I'd now like to invite Matthew Offord, Member of Parliament for Hendon, another great friend of Cyprus who's been consistently supportive of our cause. Matthew Offord.
Let me just start by saying what a great privilege it is to be here today. Some of us not only attend this rally each year, but also the rally in Morphu. Last year, I attended and made a very difficult decision. I decided to cross the so-called border into the occupied territory. I found I did have my passport taken away by the Turkish authorities. Disgraceful, as my passport had already been checked when I entered the real Cyprus. What I found when I crossed the border was like going back in time. I saw many people who obviously wasn't their own homeland. They'd come across the water from Turkey itself. I also saw army trucks and fire trucks on graves of Cypriots. Disgraceful. What the Turkish invaders have done is unacceptable, and we need to make that known loud and clear. We need to keep telling people of the problem in Cyprus. It hasn't gone away, and it won't until we deal with it. If Turkey has any idea of joining the EU, they have to address this issue. They have to say where the missing are. They have to give back land and property, and they have to remove a divide from an island within the middle of Europe. I know that the Turkish government hear what we're saying, so let's send them a message loud and clear. Do it, and do it now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Θέλω τώρα να καλέσω τον αγαπητό μας φίλο Χαράλαμπο Πίτσα, ο οποίος θα μας μιλήσει εκ μέρους της Επιτροπής των 9 κατεχομένων δήμων. Χαράλαμπος Πίτσας, Mayor of occupied Morphu, on behalf of the Committee of the 9 occupied municipalities of Cyprus.
Honourable Member and ex-member of the British Parliament, my dear friend Lisa, Mayor of Barney, and other councillors, I would like to thank you for your support and solidarity towards struggle for a just and viable solution to the Cyprus problem. And I would like also to assure you that we look forward to the day that we shall be able to welcome all of you in a free Morpho, in a free Kyrenia, in a free Famagusta, in a free and reunited Cyprus. Thank you for your support.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, Αναλαντή. Θέλω τώρα να καλέσω στο βήμα τον κύριο Χριστάκη Πασχάλη, πρόεδρο της Επιτροπής Προσφύγων. I'd like to invite the President of the Committee of Refugees from Cyprus to address us. Κύριε Πασχάλη.
Dear friends, members of the House of the Commons, I want to express our thanks on behalf of all the Cypriot refugees. Because of the time, we shall see you tomorrow and we shall inform about our problem.
Θέλω να καλέσω την Ευρωβουλευτή αγαπητή Αντιγόνη Παπαδοπούλου να μας πει δύο λόγια. Βρίσκεται στο Λονδίνο μαζί μας. Αντιγόνη Παπαδοπούλου.
We support the removal of all Turkish troops, the repatriation of all Turkish colonies. They don't have a place in Cyprus. All the illegal settlers have to go back to Turkey. We demand from the European Union, from the United Nations, from the British government as a guarantor power, the return of all the refugees in our towns, in our villages. And we demand to stop the illegal confiscation of our land, the illegal usurpation of our land, of our properties. I wish to express my sincere thanks to all my colleagues in the European Parliament, all the parliamentarians who are friends also of Cyprus and also friends of my own place, Morpho. And I ask them to work harder because the pressures are not exercised on Turkey. The pressures are exercised on the Cyprus government and on the Republic of Cyprus. And this is very wrong. And my last message, we shall never surrender because we have the determination to fight for the liberty of our land, for the reunification of our land, and for our just cause and a better future for Cyprus, for Greeks, Cypriots, and all the other people who live on the island. Never give up. We are here to work together with you. We fight for a free, united Cyprus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would now like to invite a great friend of our island, a champion of our cause, Sir Alan Meale, who has been with us for decades on our side. Alan, I want to pay my personal tribute to you for everything that you do in the House of Commons on behalf of Cyprus. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all bring you fraternal greetings from the Midlands of England, from Birmingham, from Nottingham, and of course from the small Greek Cypriot community in Mansfield near Nottingham. You know that a famous sportswoman, Rebecca Adlington, the winner of 2 swimming gold medals, is actually a Mansfield citizen. If I'd have known the weather was going to be like this today, she could have come and swum with you from the embassy in solidarity. But before I start, I also want you to think about others which are on this platform today. Good servants to the cause, citizens for a free and united Cyprus. You have Andrew Dismore, an MP. You've got Ian Twing, one-time MP. And you've got Tom Cox, a valiant servant. Citizens of Cyprus, those who support our just cause, today is yet another opportunity which we're taking to remind the free world that Cyprus is not free. We have to keep doing this until such times as they eventually wake up to the reality which what is not good enough for them is not good enough for Cyprus. We and others who will follow us, who are here today and will be there tomorrow in support of our cause, will come forward and take up that banner as long as it is needed. The governments of the world should not think that ever at any time the cause is going to be lost, just a matter of time before Cyprus is forgotten. We will continue campaigning until such times as all the settlers are returned to Turkey, until all the land and property is returned to the rightful owners, until every person who is missing is found, their whereabouts, and returned to their loved ones. And something more, and I pay tribute to Teresa Villiers, who was here. It's never very, very easy for a minister in a government to actually come to demonstrations like this, and she never faults. Every occasion, every meeting she turns up. But let me say this on behalf or to her government. Just a few days ago, the Prime Minister had a word with his Home Secretary and asked to have a look at people who had committed illegal acts. And in the last few days, arrests have been made. You tell me that Rebecca Brooks has been arrested at lunchtime? What about those people who killed people in Cyprus? What about those people who acted with the military over there and give no freedom? You have to give me, I've got a cold. What about those people who've conducted campaigns to try and change the reality of the crimes that were committed? What about those people who stuck up for the grey wolves, who went to Cyprus and killed people for doing nothing than just demonstrating in a free society? What about those people who, during a confrontation in 1974, arrested citizens in their hundreds and took them to prison camps and then took them to Turkish mainland, from which they've never been found again? Illegal acts on the international arena against everything in the rule book of the Geneva Convention. It is about time this government and any future government of Britain said, this is not good enough for us. Our international foreign policy will not support anything like that. So the message today is the same as we've had over previous years, and will continue until such times when it is won. It is freedom for Cyprus, the right of Cypriot citizens to return to their homes, to have a free and open society on the island, for settlers to be returned, to land and properties to be returned, and we will do this, we will campaign for this until whenever it takes for us to gain that great victory. Dani Gizume, we will win!
Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Before I invite our main speaker to speak, I too would like to acknowledge the presence at our rally of a number of long-standing friends. Tom Cox, great friend of Cyprus. Ian Quinn, another great friend of Cyprus. Andrew Dismore. GLA member Brian Coleman. We do have here with us a number of councillors, Greek Cypriot councillors, whom I'd like to acknowledge as well. Joanna Christopidis, George Sava, Andreas Konstantinidis, the Mayor of Barnet once again, Lisa Raka, who's of course a Greek Cypriot as well. I welcome them all, and I look forward to working with them all. Campos Karalampos is also here, and Dinos Lemonidis is here as well. Christou Ioannidis as well. Sorry if I missed you, but I can see you. I would now like to invite our keynote speaker at the event, the Cyprus Government Spokesman, Stefanos Stefanou. He made a special effort to be here with us. He's been handling the crisis in Cyprus following the tragedy. I'm delighted he's here with us. He's a great friend, somebody who's been alongside our Parisia, our community in the UK, throughout his tenure in government. Welcome.
Honourable members of Parliament, distinguished guests, friends of Cyprus, my dear compatriots. This year too, the Cypriot community in the United Kingdom is staging events to commemorate the black anniversaries of 1974. Events to denounce the treasonous coup and the barbarous Turkish invasion and occupation. Each July, every summer since 1974, is a time for the awakening of memories regarding all the tragic events that our people lived through in 1974. This summer, the pain and sorrow of 1974 are intermingled with the tears and the pain from the unspeakable tragedy that fell on Cyprus on 11 July at the naval base at Mari. The unjustifiable and untimely death of 13 of Cyprus' children has plunged the whole country in mourning. The pain is excruciating, and so is the sorrow for the families, the relatives, the friends and the colleagues of the people so unjustly lost. We offer everyone our deepest condolences and our support, even though we well know that nothing can bring back their loved ones. The problems that have been created as a result of the murderous blast at Mari are tremendous. In the midst of all the pain and mourning, we all have to find the strength to face them. And face them we shall. In difficult situations, we as a people have learned to look ahead and move forward. This is what we are going to do now too. United and of one mind and shouldering the enormous responsibility together, we will manage to overcome the problems and to heal the new wounds that have opened up.
Did you notice
He ido a mirar, pero estaban allí abajo.